Hello again, friends, and you are my friends, and good morning and welcome to you all. This is your non-league half an hour with me, Martin, and I'm joined as always by Thomas. Don't forget, guys, you can listen to this back on any audio platform, any podcast platform. I'll put my teeth in this morning and have some coffee, I think. You can just search Talking Non-League Football Live. Just search that and you should find us. If not, find me on Twitter at HDR Martin or Facebook, Martin Lambert or the HDR Network, and I'll link you up with whatever platform you need to be on. We are joined today by Daniel Barnard of Claydon. He'll be with us very soon. I can see you already in the chat. Good morning, Andrew. I hope you're well, my friend. Good morning, Cruncher. And how's everyone this morning? Walked the dog yet? No, the dog is still fast asleep, actually. Lazy boy. But no, thank you all for your messages. Get involved. Obviously, another weekend of non-league action has come and has gone. Thomas, you missed last week. How was your fry-up, first and foremost?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, very enjoyable.
Yeah. Any black pudding on the fry-up?
No, I can't. No, unfortunately.
It's not a fry-up then, Thomas. You've got some black pudding on there.
Hey, if you go to Scotland and have haggis, love a bit of haggis.
Oh, you can add a bit of haggis to it as well. I'd be up for that. But for me, a fry-up's not a full English without a bit of black pudding.
I do like a bit of black pudding, yeah. I have to admit.
None of that cruncher, none of that banter in here, please. So, another weekend of non-league actions come and gone. I'm sure you've looked at the results. Shall we, first of all, play... If we go with Thurlow Nunn, first of all, because Daniel's coming in from Claydon at about 9:30, and then we can look at SIL from there. Yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
That sounds good. Perfect. Thurlow Nunn, Premier Division. Galston 2, FC Clacton 1. Haverhill Rovers 4, Woodbridge Town 3. Stanway Rovers 2, Wroxham 3. Swaffham Town 0, Kirkley and Pakefield 2. Thetford Town 0, Stowmarket Town 2. Downham Town 3, Ely City 0. God Manchester Rovers 0, Norwich United 0. Hadley 2, Hadley United 0. Huntingdon Town 0, Mildenhall 2. Ilford 5, Long Melford 3. Ipswich Wanderers 5, Grantham Athletic 3. Saffron Walden 3, Whitton Town 3. Whitton Town through on penalties 4-1. Sheringham 2, Newmarket Town 0. Thurlow Nunn, First Division North. Cornard United 2, Kings Lynn Town Reserves 5. Debenham LC, Norwich CBS abandoned. Great Yarmouth Town 4, Needham Market Reserves 0. Marchtown United 6, Leiston Reserves 0. Widgeby St Mary 1, AFC Sudbury Reserves 3. This Town 0, Fakenham Town 1. Downham Town 3, Ely City 0. Ipswich Wanderers 5, Brampton Athletic 3. Lakenheath 7, Framlingham Town 1. Peterborough Northern Star 0, Mulbarton Wanderers 7. First Division South. Burnham Ramblers 1, Benfleet 2. Athletic Newman 0, Womley Rovers 1. Brimsdown 2, Clapton 4. Colney Heath 0, Wivenhoe 0. Colney Heath through on penalties 4-2. Frenford 2, Newbury Forest 4. Harwich and Parkston 1, Walthamstow 1. Little Oakley 2, Stotfold 1. And now an early look at the table in the Thurlow Nunn Premier Division. Kirkley and Pakefield have played 4 games and lead the pack with a perfect record, 12 points. 8-4, 3 against. Wroxham in second, played 3, 9 points. Hadley United in third, played 4, 9 points. Favourite, Stowmarket, currently sit in 5th place, 3 games, 7 points, 5 points off Kirkley and Pakefield. The bottom 3 are Swaffham Town, Thetford Town and Woodbridge Town, all on 0. Woodbridge and Thetford have played 3, Swaffham have played 4. Thurlow Nunn, First Division North. Marchtown lead the way on 9 points. Perfect record from their 3 games. 12 goals, 1 against. Lakenheath sit in second. 11 goals, 2 against. So 2 big scoring sides leading the way in the First Division North. Wisbech, Haverhill and Debenham LC currently make up the bottom 3. Into the First Division South, Little Oakley lead the way on 9 points, perfect record, 11 goals, 1 against. Wivenhoe Town currently sit bottom place, played 3, 0 points, 7 against, 1 for. But early days. Back to the studio. There we go, beautiful voice. So, before I do ask you for your 3 Thurlow Nunn teams of the week, Thomas, I've got Andrew, can't beat a bit of black pudding. Daniel, who's already I'm coming on the show soon. Morning, boys. Nick Muller disagrees with Andrew. Black pudding, yuck. And the Cruncher, great result for Haverhill Rovers. 3 down against Woodbridge, back to 3-3. Now, neither team's on our list, I believe. So quickly mention on that one, Thomas. Obviously, Woodbridge, a local club to yourself, under new management, having gone from Carlos Edwards earlier this month, I believe. It's a disappointing result, right?
Yeah, I mean, they don't start the season well. Don't really know what's going on there. I know they've got Staymarket week after next, which will be a bit of a test for them.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
Interesting to see how it happens there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you got a clip of when we were talking about the Vars a couple of weeks ago? You probably haven't, but I know I said then Fram wouldn't beat Lakenheath, and then I upset my friend and chairman. I know I upset at the time. He messaged me while I was live, but 7-1 yesterday, not a good result.
No, I did wonder.
I know it's a Vars, but
I did wonder. Good morning, Lee. I hope you're well, my friend. I hope you're well. Thanks for joining us. I did wonder, Thomas, if you were going to mention Framlingham this week.
Yeah,
I saw the result. I said the result, obviously, and I was like, I wonder if Thomas will skirt past that. Not. You did say you did say it, didn't you?
I wasn't expecting a thrashing, but
well, no one was, I don't think. No. But before I do ask for your 3 clubs, I just want to quickly plug Suffolk News, who had a fantastic SuffolkNews.co.uk have a fantastic non-league roundup. I was just reading it today. You've got Bury Town in there, Sudbury, all of the local non-league sides. A really good read. Bury Town, injury list is as long as your arm, but they returned to Suffolk with all 3 points, which is fantastic to see. But Thurlow Nunn, Thomas, give us your first Thurlow Nunn side, first of all.
Kirkley
and Patefield, top of the pack.
Whilst you're going through the results, I had a quick look at the table last season, and they finished 13th and only 33 points. To sort of start 100% that they have done, I think that's a good start for them, definitely. If they can keep it up, then who knows where they can head. Stowmarket aren't doing what we thought they would at the moment. I know it's early on, but they haven't kicked off as well as we thought they would have done. So
no, and I mentioned that in the piece there, didn't I?
Yeah.
The favourites. It's not a stretch to say they're favourites either.
No.
But by some distance. And obviously Lee is in the chat there, and he's part of Thetford. Thetford yesterday not having the rub of the green, maybe. But Stowmarket Town, 7 points, 12, 5 away from Kirkley and Patefield. So yeah, Kirkley are doing really well to kick things off, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
they're doing all you can really ask a team to do. Wins against Swaffham, Stanway, and Woodbridge Town.
Yeah,
that's all you can ask. Number 2,
Yarmouth.
Yarmouth. Why Yarmouth?
Beat Needham Reserves 4-0 yesterday. They're 5th in the division. They're 1-2, only lost 1. Good start to the season for them as well. March Town yesterday as well. Good result for them. Top of the table.
Yeah.
So. And then obviously really Benfit as well, winning yesterday.
Did they? Who did Benfit beat? Remind me.
Hang on, let me find it again.
I can't remember seeing the Benfit result. Did I say it?
Burn and Ramblers 2-1.
Oh, okay. There's so many clubs. But okay, so my 3 Thurlow Nunn teams. Wroxham. Kicking off in the Thurlow Nuns, Wroxham for me, flying out the traps, winning all 3 of their opening league games. 2-0 versus Swaffham, who finished 15th last year. 4-0 against Galston, who obviously were 20th last year. And then a 3-2 win against Stanway Rovers, 3rd place last year. I mean, so you've beaten some clubs there, Wroxham, which you needed to. They were 5th last year. So a great start for Wroxham. Can they go further? That's the question, Can they step it up and go from 5th into that top 4 bracket? It's a great start. I think you've got Walshamley Willows up next, who sit in 12th. So, that's before a potentially mouth-watering clash with Kirkley and Patefield. I know it's only 5 games in by that point, but if you manage to beat Walshamley Willows, that's a top of the table clash, Tom.
Yeah,
Thomas.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
You know,
Walsham
so
Willows have got a game in the week as well, haven't they?
they have. Yeah, Thetford. So Leah talks about Walsham Willows. What are you expecting from them if you're still in the chat? My second club is Little Oakley. Obviously, we had Matt Carmichael on the show, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah.
First Division South, you played three, won 3. Goal difference of 10, having scored 11 and conceded 1. That's you can't ask for a better start than that. They beat Stopford in the FA Vars yesterday, and wins in the league so far been against Holland, who finished 5th last year, and Brimsdown, who 8-0 against Brimsdown. Thomas, that's
hell of a result.
Yeah, well, it is because Holland and Barkingside, who are the other side they beat, they were 2 top 6 sides last year. So Little Oakley have really flown out of the traps. Obviously, got an FA Cup tie, I believe, still to come. Have they, or did they lose that one? They lost, didn't they?
They lost. Yeah.
They lost. It's Long Melford I'm thinking of there. But Athletic Newman and Halstead Town are up next for Matt Carmichael's team. So that good start, really good start, and we'll find that in the SIL very shortly. My last side is Long Melford, who didn't disgrace themselves yesterday, Thomas, against Ilford, and on a different day, who knows? 5-3 is not a disgrace. It's one of those where it's back and forth, don't you? 2 sort of heavyweights slugging it out, putting punch to punch. So they didn't disgrace themselves. They've got an FA Cup game Tuesday night against Cheshire. So if you're around the Long Melford area, get yourselves down there. Should be a good tie. Should be a really good tie. And after this, Jamie Bradbury and his lads will turn their attention back to the league, because they have gotten off to a tricky start. They're not. Yeah, they're currently sitting 16th, 2 games, 1 point. So they won't be too happy with that after a fantastic year last year for Long Melford. But they've got games against Swaffham, Wroxham, and Kirkley and Pakefield. So their next 3 is not easy.
No.
But
again, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, isn't it? So
no, exactly. But you've got to get off to a really good start, because obviously winning is a habit, isn't it? At every level.
I think it helps with all the FA Cup and the Vars fixtures coming up.
It's all clink. It's all stop start in the league. Yeah, and if you look at the league table, you've got Long Melford in 16th, 1 point, but then you've got Stanway in 14th, play 5. So there's 3 games already that they're behind, and there's 2 ways of looking at that, isn't there? You're 2 games behind, so no need to say, "Oh my God," or it's you've got to win those games.
Yeah.
And obviously a fixture pile-up starts to happen, especially at non-league level with pitches and the winters and in a second spike. Who knows what's going on there? But they're one of my teams I want to mention, because I love Long Melford. I've got a lot of respect for Jamie Bradbury. The lads down there, I think they'll put it out of the bag Tuesday night against Cheshire. I really do. I fancy them. But if I can, I'll get down there. Town aren't playing midweek, so I should be free. Babysitting, provided. But that's our Thurlow nunn. I will give Daniel the link to the chat. Shall we have our SIL results and talk about our SIL teams?
Go for it, yeah.
Perfect. SIL Senior Division. Achilles FC 2, Trimley Red Devils 2, Bilderston Rangers 3, Bourneville United 5, Claydon FC 0, Ransom Sports 5, Hawley United 4, Copplestonians 3, Henley Athletic 4, Benall St Mary 3, Leyston St Margaret's 0, Howsworth Town 3, Oldenich United 3, Capel Plough 0, Westerfield United 0, East Burgoll 2. SIL Division 1. Backton United 89 0, Tattingstone United 2, Bedricks Worth 5, AFC Kesgrave first 1, Sporting 87 1, Wickham Market 2, Stanton and Coddenham postponed, Stopland Falcons 0, Grunsborough FC 0, Wenhaston 2, Southwold 3. SIL Division 2. AFC Your Shirts 2, Ufford Sports 1, Brantford Old Boys 1, Ipswich Athletic 1, Cockfield United 3, Saxmundham Sports 4, Curtin Athletic 0, Melton United 2. SIL Division 3. Aldborough Town 2. Wortham 3. Bardwell Sports 4. Stage FC 4. Brantford United 4. Witnesham Wasps 0. Great Blakenham Checkers 4. Ockhold 0. Hope Church 1. Ipswich Exiles 4. Kesgrave Kestrels 0. AFC Wanderers 4. Unity FC 1. Laxfield 0. Into the league table after 3 games. Halsworth lead the way on 9 points, chased by Trimley Red Devils on 7. Hawley sit in 3rd with 7 points. Ransoms in 4th on 6 points. Currently the bottom 3 are Leiston, Bilderston and Capel Plough. But we're only 2 or 3 games into the season, so nothing too much to worry about for those teams just yet. Into Division 1, Tattingstone United lead the way with 6 points, a perfect record. 4 goals, 0 goals against. Fantastic stuff from Tattingstone. Stopland Falcons in 2nd on 4 points. Bedrixworth in 3rd. Bottom 3 is AFC Kesgrave, Wenhanston and Coddenham. Into Division 2, AFC Your Shirts lead the way with 6 points. 8 goals scored, only 2 against. Whereas Cockfield currently sits in 13th place. 4 goals scored, 7 against. Division 3, Brantford United lead the way with 6 points, 14 goals for, 0 against. That is an amazing statistic, only 2 games in. Bardwell Sports doing their best to keep up with Brantford. 10 goals for, 5 against, 4 points from 2 games. Down the bottom, Aldborough, Hope Church and Alcold all make up the bottom 3. There we go, SIL results. I am doing my utmost to put my CV forward for the full-time scores, as you can hear. I'm doing my best. James Alexander-Gordon obviously no longer does them, but I'm putting my CV forward. So some big results in there, and obviously some big results we missed last week. 10-0 being one of them. Before I welcome Dan into the chat, who were your SIL teams of the week?
I think, Halesworth, they've gotten to a cracking start. 3 wins out of 3. Good start for them.
Absolutely,
I can't remember who said it now, but I know we were told early on, they're ones to watch this season. Was it Glyn? I can't know, someone told us.
It was Glyn, I think. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Or Dan Snell, one of the 2.
Yeah. Henley, they've got to crack a start as well. They've won 2, played 2, so won again yesterday.
They did.
And who's the other one I said?
I don't know.
I
will just say, while you find it, we'll just say though, guys, one of the results in there was wrong. The website had it down wrong when I took it. It was not Ransoms 5, Claydon 0. It was Claydon 5, Ransoms 0. So apologies on that one. But by the time I'd done it, it would then come to light. So have you found your team?
Wickham Market.
Wickham Market. Why Wickham?
First game of the season. They've won it. I know they're sort of in the first division of the SIL, but they're what used to be like a big team. I know. That time they got back to SIL Premier, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And obviously, you've got to earn the right to get back there, though, haven't you?
Yeah. You have. They started off yesterday with a win, so that's a good start for them.
Yeah, it really is. Right, Dan, I'm going to welcome you in very shortly, my friend. But I want you to just give me a quick thought about who your team of the week, 1 or 2 teams of the week from the SIL might be. It can be yourselves, although from our conversations, it might not be. I get that. But have a quick thing. I'm going to tell you my 2 out of 3, and then I'll welcome Dan in, and we can discuss the third at some point. So first of all, you've got Bardwell. Division 3, currently sits 2nd with 4 points, following a win and a draw. They drew 4-4 yesterday with Stage, who finished 9th last year, Thomas. And they beat AFC Wanderers 6-1 last week. So that's 10 scored, 5 against. Another team that's flown out of the traps. They finished 7th last year with 14 points. So, they're already only 10 points away from their overall. I know last year never was, but the website still have the league table. So, in my opinion, if it's still up there, it still counts. I know Market Town will say in that case.
Still shows you how they're different compared to last year, doesn't it? So it's still it really does.
We've really seen some teams change. Another team I'm going to mention is Brantford, staying in Division 3. They topped the table, played 6 points, a whopping 14-4 with 0 against. They beat Aldborough Town last week 10-0.
And they need to allow fish and chips.
Well, maybe. First hammer dropped. And this week they took no, I love it. And this week they took Witnesham Wasps apart 4-0. To put that into context, right? Witnesham last year finished 4th. So, to beat them 4-0 shows some strength and some quality. Yeah. Last year, and then Bradford have Ipswich Exiles, who finished 6th last year, up next. So, Matty Chaplin, good win for Ipswich Wanderers yesterday. It certainly was. The Crunchers off to watch Haverhill Rovers Tuesday evening in the FA Cup qualifying round. Wayne Brown's Malden and Tiptree. Cool, ex-Town player. So, Dan, welcome in, my friend. How are you doing this morning?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Very well. Thank you for joining us, my man. Hopefully we'll make it a regular thing. I love chatting with you on Twitter and various live shows we do. You're always a character. Talk about yesterday. How did it go for you guys?
Well, we should have won the game, to be fair. On paper, it should have been us that should have won the game. We just let in 2 sloppy goals, and their third goal was obviously a good goal. So, I mean, we need to go back to the drawing board and start again, and hopefully it won't happen next week, because it's not something that we'd like to see. Obviously, yesterday. So, and there was a lot of stuff said after the game, which was hurtful to the club, to the team, and to me. But things are said, and we try and resolve them and get back to things next Saturday.
Oh, okay.
So how do you come back off a result from that, though? How do you prepare for that?
Training. You have to train. If we would have had the whole 16 train Tuesday night, we probably would have won the game, because the way we trained Tuesday was for Saturday, and it just didn't happen. Just did not happen. So we just obviously have to go back to the drawing board again. So
yeah.
So is that lads having injuries and not training? Because I always had that as manager myself. I always, you plan your sessions for 12 to 14 boys. 8 or 9 turn up, and you're thinking you're 11 side. This is not acceptable. Yeah. I had it throughout my tenure. So is that what you're finding there, Dan?
Sometimes we have to look after the players. We've got a couple of 16-year-olds that play in our team. One plays for the ITFC Elite team, so he's constantly playing football every day. So we have to take care of them. But yeah, everyone should be turned up for training. We should never. As a team, if you want to win things, you want to win the titles, you want to compete, you have to turn up for training, because we put in the effort to make training happen. So they just need to turn up, and the cost, exactly. So it's getting dark now, so we now have to put the floodlights on. So there's a cost already. So
yeah. Oh, you're talking my language. I know it all too well. And the costs rack up, and the boys, because some lads, they look at training and it's training, and they think, I don't need training. I don't need it. I go to the gym or whatever. You can't replicate a ball work.
No.
You can run on the treadmill for an hour. You can be fit as a fiddle, but if you can't control a ball or make a pass or have some chemistry, it's not going to happen, is it?
No, it's just about team bonding as well. To get to know, obviously, where everyone plays. Like, we've got 3 or 4 new players that come into the team. They still want to know how they play, and they want to show what they can do. So in training is the best place to do it. So we need to start again. So
absolutely.
So.
Is this your first management role?
No, I've been around the block for a few years now. I did start my management career at Cedars Park in Stowmarket, and then I went to Ipswich Athletic Reserves. Then had a year out, and then came back, and this is my second year at Claydon. So,
looking back on your management career, what can you draw from those experiences and bring into this experience and what you're going through at the moment?
It's just working with. The management's the massive. Like I've always had, people above me that like the first team or the reserves. I learned from them, and from obviously yesterday's experience, I'll go back to think what happened in the previous years. And then just start again and speak to them. And Kenny's been great for me, being at Claydon. He'll just tell me to shut up, get on with it, and just go next week. We
all need that sometimes.
Yeah, but it's just obviously, it's just going back. As I said, yesterday was a disaster. As I said, it's not a 10-0 thrashing like what happened last week for a team. We lost 3-0, but we knew we should have played better, and we should have found the net. as well. So
yeah, and you got to put that a bit of that as a manager back on the players and say, you know you're better than that, but you've got to show the world you're better than that. Yeah. You can't just talk the game, and and a result like that sometimes can jolt you and kickstart your campaign.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, we've got Starplan next week. So hopefully we'll find the net and get a good result.
Absolutely. We've got Glenn in the chat, up the Toffees. Claydon winning 5-0 yesterday. They didn't lose 5-0.
No.
Go on, the website's got you down as a win, so just keep quiet. Don't say anything.
Yeah. Well, obviously it happened to us last week as well, and I had so much grief off the boys where we won 3-2 and Macron said it was 2-2. And all week, literally, my boys are saying, "What's going on? Like, sort it out." It's like, I can't sort anything out. That's not up to me.
Yeah. I had terrible trouble with that myself. So I know what you're going through again with that one. So it's a tricky one. But looking at the SIL as an overview, anybody stand out this week for you? Anybody you think could win, good result?
Well, Tattenstone seem to be a good team at the moment. They seem to be. But obviously you have to be a bit biased and say the first thing for Claydon. They've obviously been through 3 weeks of different stuff. First week we lose, second week no comment, and the third week they won. So they're getting back to where they should be. The first couple of weeks wasn't nice for them, but yesterday seemed like everyone was happy. Obviously, and they put so much effort in, and they deserved the result yesterday. But Ransom's a like pushover anyway. So
yeah, well, you can't say any comment, but I certainly can. What happened to Kenny is absolutely disgusting. It should never have any place in football, and this show certainly stands with him, and we'll back him anything 110%. Terrible what happened. But I understand you can't say any comment, but me being free media, I certainly can. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Trimley for my team. Okay. Yeah. They've flown out of the traps. They really have. Last season they're probably the first to admit a disappointing year. 13th with 13 points. Currently 3 games unbeaten though this year. They kicked off obviously with a 1-0 win against you guys, Claydon, and then they took Bills and Rangers apart yesterday, winning 7-1. I mean last week, sorry, and then they drew Achilles yesterday 2-2. Achilles, who are a great side, but the manner of the result, they came back from 2-0 down, drew 2-2. Which is just, shows resolve and just shows the sort of mentality and quality they're putting in over at Trimley. And being a Trimley boy, anytime I can stand with my local side, I certainly will. It's just the fact they've already amassed 50% of their points from last year in the first 3. That's a fantastic start, isn't it? So I stand with Trimley on that one. That's a great result. Up next for them is Leiston St Margaret's, who have gotten off to a hard start, to say the least. Currently bottom, but that's my third team there, lads. Trimley Red Devils. They're really sort of flying, and actually I've got a goal from them. Bear with me. Here it is. It's not great, as in it's not zoomed in, but you can see it. Just see how far this goalkeeper comes off his line. Yeah! Fucking get in there! Obviously, we apologise for any language that's not our own. But that keeper is in the halfway line, isn't he? Yeah. How far has he come off his line now?
Yeah, Trimley a good team. Trimley a really good team. We watched them. Obviously, we didn't have a game, so we went down and watched the first team against Trimley. They had a game plan, and the game plan worked really well, which is good because obviously you need to have game plans against good teams. And they certainly did that on the first week, and you could tell that they wanted to win the game. So good on them. That obviously they're on a run. Good bunch of lads, and long may it continue. But hopefully we'll overtake soon. So
yeah, absolutely. And as a manager, anytime you've got a good goal scorer or a proven goal scorer, it makes your life so much easier, doesn't it? And they've certainly got that at Trimley at the moment. And they're building on a back end of last year. And I was just surprised, 50% of their points already. And it's just a great start. It really is. So next week for you, who have you got, and what do you want to see from the lads? What do you want to see from your club next week?
We'll say we've got Starplan and Falcons reserves away. I mean, we need to win. Obviously, intermediate B is really hard this season because if you look at the league, there's many reserve teams in there. We're an A team, so we're competing against reserve players that should be fighting for the first team as well. So with us, we're going through the stages of reserves than the first team. A lot of my players obviously deserve to play higher, but I think we've got a good bond there. I mean, we just need to repair a few patches that obviously was done yesterday. We need to find the net. I mean, to be fair, the Sporting 87 goalkeeper had a world of a game. Next week, he'll probably let 8 in, and that's probably one of them weeks that, but it can happen. Yeah. So, but obviously, no disrespect to Sporting, but they obviously played and wanted to win the game. Pitch was lovely. I mean, boys just need to turn up with a belief that we can't win every game. We need to fight for every game, and hopefully we'll get the 3 points, and hopefully we'll bag a few.
Does that make life harder for you, Dan, when you're an A team in a league full of reserves?
Not really, because obviously the club works quite well. There's 2 new people in reserve as managers. They're great lads. They're obviously still learning. Their players are still learning how they play. I've helped them a little bit as well. They've taken 4 players from my A team from last season to play reserves, which is good. So we've got an understanding. There's no I need to take this player, blah blah blah. We just have an understanding that I think 4 or 5 weeks into the season, we'll have a cemented team. So they will just go with that cemented team. But at the moment, they're still learning. They're still learning their players. They want to have a look at our players, which is understandable. So, and then hopefully, Kenny's already tried to tap up one of my 16-year-olds to play for the senior. So, I'm doing something right.
How much easier, Thomas, does that make Dan's life when he can clearly demonstrate and show there's a clear pathway to the first team? It makes his life so much easier, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, you can sort of pinpoint who you want, and it's so much easier, isn't it? I guess, yeah.
Yeah, because you can really you can attract a different sort of player, can't you, Dan?
Yeah,
you can say, we've got a clear pathway to the first team. It's not a come play the reserves or whatever, and there's a dead end. There's a clear pathway. Looking at your division, who do you see as the favourites? If the bookies took bets on the SIL, who would be the favourite in your division, League B?
I would probably say Grunsborough. They've won 6. I think it was 7-1 the first week and 6-1 yesterday. They've got a really young team, but obviously again Halesworth are up there as well. So both teams are flying up there, first and reserves. They're going to be the 2 teams that obviously we need to look out for. And then on our day we could beat anyone. So and then on our off day we can lose to anyone. So.
That's the life of a manager. You've got 4 teams unbeaten: Grunsborough, Halesworth, Wickham, and Sporting. So, do you think Grunsborough's the best of those 4 currently unbeaten?
Absolutely, great setup at Grunsborough. Run by Neil Gregory as well in the reserves. He's part of the management team in Grunsborough reserves. So,
oh wow,
anyone with experience from Ipswich.
Real caliber, yeah,
especially for the reserves that helped them a lot, and they're really young team. We played them last season. We got absolutely tonked at their grounds. I think it was at like 6-0, and then we played them at our ground and we lost 4-3, but we should have won the game. So so it swings and roundabouts.
Well, it is. Wickham Market play Halesworth next week, so there could be one less undefeated team. Who do you see out of those 2? Wickham and Halesworth, 2 heavyweights going at it.
It depends on the first team as well, if they've got a game.
I can have a look for you. Bear with me a second. Bear with me a moment.
Halesworth haven't got a game next week.
Have they not?
No, I looked a minute ago.
There you go.
They have.
So do you? Is that something you look out for, particularly in your division? Week to week.
Yes, some of the other managers I speak to during the week, they get a bit annoyed with me because, I'm always having to look at, for instance, Stowe Upland's first team have a game next Saturday. So, but that's part of me being a manager. You have to look at the teams that haven't got a game or the teams we're playing to see if their first team haven't got a game because, we don't like to bolster up our team if the first team or reserves don't have a game because, but in areas that we need to, then we have to do it. So, but in the other, we don't want to leave any of our players out for first team as reserves. But if we need to win a game, we have to do what's right to get them 3 points.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a tough one. I mean, Halesworth are a great side, so I'll probably go Halesworth for that one, to be fair. But I mean, there was quite a few bit of noise at Sporting yesterday because Wickham Market were on the other pitch. So there was a bit of noise over there. I think Wickham Market took the points, which is a good result for them against Sporting, the first team. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a tough one. But I mean, we'll go for a draw, hopefully.
Yeah, we've got some love coming in for you here, Dan from Glyn. Played for Dan twice last season and absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
that's always pleasing to hear as a manager, isn't it?
Yeah, Dicko's a great bloke. I mean, he's still got a couple of years in it. He's got a good couple of years in him still, I think.
He's retired more times than anybody I've ever known, isn't he?
Yeah, he just loves the football, doesn't he?
He loves it.
Yeah, he loves the football. So hopefully.
Sorry, Dan. Carry
on. No, carry on. You're right.
I was going to ask, where do you want to be as a manager? Where do you want to go? Because you seem an ambitious guy. How far do you want to go?
I mean, I've already told Kenny that I want his place. He knows
Love
that.
It.
He knows that.
Game of Thrones, Claydon style.
Yeah. Obviously when I had the interview for Claydon, he asked me where do you want to be in 5, 6, 7 years, and I said I want to be in your spot. And I mean, which is true. You want to progress, and obviously take him off. Yeah.
I thought we were going for the town job, Dan.
Well, I mean, it's still there, mate. I mean, they won yesterday, so obviously we've got to give them another week, haven't we? So,
well, yeah.
I mean,
you number one, me number two. I thought we were shooing. I thought we were going for it.
And Seggers can be the physio.
What? Him and his fry-ups? Come on, Dan.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's not a physio, is it?
we'll have to put the game back about 15, 20 minutes because he's having a fry-up.
Oh, love it. Dropping the hammer on Seggins. So, Dan, next week into SIL, we've got a big game. Hawley versus Henley. I'll pick that one out. Who do you see as 3 points? I'll ask you first, then Thomas, I'll come to you second. Henley, Hawley. Who do we see?
Henley.
Hawley in third. Sorry, go on. I was to say where they were in the league. Hawley in third, Henley in fifth.
Henley pulled off a good result yesterday. I think they scored in the 90th minute. I think it was about the 90th minute. Shirt came off apparently. In celebrations.
Love it.
I know the manager at Hawley, Tomo. He's got a good setup there. And I'll probably say Henley win, just because of the players they've got. Clark Bruce is banging in goals again, as he always does.
Yeah.
We've got some decent players at Henley. Good goalkeeper as well. So I'd probably go for a 3-1 Henley. Oh,
tasty. Thomas?
I was going to go Henley as well. I'll say 2-1.
2-1. I'll go Hawley then. I'll be the only one that goes Hawley. Because we can't have a clean sweep. I'll go Hawley 1-0. Why not? But Henley, they're a really well run club, and I hope to have them on very soon. But yes, it doesn't tell me what minute they scored. It just tells me it was a 4-3 win. So if you're telling me it was a 90,
I think it was, yeah,
in a 4-3 win.
Yeah.
I'd take my shirt and my shorts off, mate, in a 4-3 win if I scored the winner. I'd be going full Monty, me.
To be fair, with the change room problem at the moment, you're allowed to, because obviously you have to get changed out the field. So what's the difference? So
mate, I was a defender, so a 4-3. If I'd scored the winner, I'd be going absolutely mental. Scenes.
Yeah, it was a top off.
It was last minute.
Yeah.
Was it last minute, Tom?
Yeah, I sent you got a message, Martin. I sent you the tweet.
Ah, yeah. Wow, last minute. There we go. So we're done for another week. That's us done. Non-league 40 minutes is done and dusted. It was probably half an hour this morning, but we extended it for Dan because he's a local legend.
Yeah.
Being in England managed town one day. Hopefully you'll come on again very soon. But we wish you all the best for next week. Bring back those 3 points and hopefully we'll get you on after a win. Otherwise, you won't come on anymore because you'll cause us the bad luck.
I'll always be here, boys. I'll always be here. Whenever Seggers is not here, I'll be in there.
Good man. We love it. We love it. Right. So, anything else to cover before we go, Thomas?
There's a picture you got to show me, isn't there?
Oh, no. I couldn't. They've deleted it.
Are they?
Yeah. I couldn't find it.
Okay.
So no, there's no picture I need to send you because somebody was snooping on young Thomas last week while he was in the pub. Oh, that's a point. I do have to quickly mention a message, a shout out, not a shout out as such. Sorry, words of get well soon to Debenham LC's player.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Grab the name because their game was abandoned yesterday, sadly, due to an injury. Bear with me.
Late on, wasn't it?
Yeah, Henry Fowler sadly broke his wrist, so we wish him all the best from us all here at the show and speedy recovery, Henry. But yeah, nasty business, eh? I remember I was in a game once where a guy broke his ankle. That noise will live with me forever. I
broke my leg about 8 years ago. Broke my tibia and my fibia. And obviously the player that done it is now my assistant at Claydon.
Well, that's a comeback. That's a reunion I never thought I'd hear. Wow, okay. Yeah. No hard feelings then. Or
do you still give him shit for it?
What's that?
Do you still give him grief for it?
Yeah, every week. You have to. You have to tell every player what he done just to make sure no one goes in for a tackle.
Yeah.
Love it. No, but not the injury. I mean, those injuries are horrible. I broke my foot once and that was enough. Right, we're done. So join us next week, 9:15 for your non-league roundup. Hopefully we'll get Dan back. We'll get Dan Snell on and hopefully have another club coming on as well. So thank you all for watching and we'll see you all next Sunday. Is that all right, Thomas?
Yep. See you later.
Perfect. Cheers, Dan. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
I love you.
Cheers.